Welcome to the Plant-Based Switch with me, Nafsika Antipas, where we explore the transformative power of plant-based living for your mind, body, and soul. Join me as we have honest conversations about health, wellness, and living more compassionately. Welcome to the Plant-Based Switch podcast. Today, we're thrilled to have Diana Elman with us. As the founder of Vegan's Baby, Diana is not just a trailblazer in the plant-based culinary world. She's making vegan living accessible and exciting for everyone. With her work as a partner with the James Beard Foundation and her innovative video series, The Good Fork Bites, Diana is reshaping how we think about vegan dining. She's also an exclusive partner with Alluring Africa for luxury vegan tours, showcasing the versatility of plant-based options globally. Welcome, Diana.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. As New York City's leading plant-based food curator, your role is incredibly influential. What sparks your creativity when discovering new vegan restaurants?
I think it's just seeing what's on the plate and seeing the innovation that the chef has taken with the dishes. That really is something just that I never get tired of. It really inspires me. People think that vegan food is boring and bland, and I love being able to go into a restaurant and to be like, hey, guess what? Like, is this boring? Is this bland? No.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. Actually, vegan food dishes, you get to be so creative. And I think they're even more gorgeous a lot of times. You know, you'll see so many colors, and it's a beautiful range of plant-based foods and variety. It's beautiful. The range of innovative vegan alternatives is truly impressive. And are there any recent products or dishes that have taken you by surprise?
I think in terms of products, I've been really loving mycelium lately. So for people that aren't familiar, mycelium it's been explained to me as like the root of a mushroom, which obviously like mushrooms are fungi, but it is what grows underground. And they've been using mycelium to recreate meat. And so you have meaty, which is making steaks and chicken. And then you have My Forest Foods, which makes a bacon that is so spot on with flavor and texture of like the bacon I remember from animals. Mycelium is really, I think, the most exciting thing I've seen lately. It's just really cool. And also fermentation, what people are doing in fermentation to create the cheeses and things like that is just really exciting right now.
That's great. And what do you say to those people that are like, well, you know, you're vegan, but why are you eating foods that taste like meat? Like, what do you say to them?
I basically say I like food. It doesn't mean I don't want it. I don't want the tastes and textures. There's food is such an ingrained part of culture, and the taste and the moments you have. I'm so sorry. I have a cat that is wandering. The moments you have with food are just such a part of life, and so you don't necessarily want to give that up when you're eating vegan. You still want to be a part of those experiences and what those flavors and textures evoke in your life. And so I just say I don't want to eat animals. It doesn't mean I don't like the taste.
Yeah, right. And also, I like to also say that you're not eating like raw meat, right? You're eating the flavors, the herbs, the spices. You're eating all that stuff. So when I'm making my famous meatballs, I'm going to take anything that I used to use with regular meatballs and apply it to the plant-based version, and maybe I'll add a little something extra like butternut squash in there. But that's my secret. Actually, I shouldn't have mentioned that. But anyway, it's like, you know, there's so many things you can do, and it's everything that comes together that creates that flavor, right?
Yeah, the protein is what carries the flavor.
Yeah, that's right. Your platform does a fantastic job of making vegan food approachable and enjoyable. Can you share specific strategy that resonated with non-vegan audiences?
I think it's really just showing them that food is exciting and innovative, and you're not missing anything by eating vegan or going plant-based. Like the whole thing I hear with people that aren't vegan is, well, I could never go vegan. I don't think I'd like vegan food. And then I I'll take them to a restaurant and be like, that's vegan. And they're just blown away by it. It's really just getting over the misconceptions that people have in their head. And I think food is the quickest way to do that and the quickest way to make change.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of misconceptions about being vegan. Like when I say I'm vegan, people are like, well, what do you eat? And I'm like, I eat everything. I eat everything except for meat and dairy. Like, I mean, but, you know, and we have foods that can taste like certain meat dishes that we like. So you can have a veggie burger if you're feeling like having something like to eat, like this burger. So we can really have anything we want, anything that we used to enjoy, we can still enjoy it, just a little bit different. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Finding hidden gems sounds like a thrilling adventure. How do you ensure a balance between showcasing high-end vegan dining and more accessible options?
Well, really just depends on my budget. So, New York is a city that has that has the extremes. You can go down the street and get a slice of pizza for $4 that's vegan, or you can go to 11 Madison Park and get a $300 tasting menu. So it really just depends. But so yeah, there's both, and so I just try to showcase wherever I'm going and whenever I'm doing them. Right now I'm actually not eating out a lot. I'm making food at home. So it's just kind of showing people that, for any budget or for any particular way you would like to live life, you can and eat vegan.
That's great. It's exciting to see the growth of plant-based options in mainstream restaurants, and even cooking from home. I mean, there's so many things you can make at home, and we get to be more creative also when we're cooking. What emerging trends do you believe will shape the future of the restaurant industry?
Ooh, I think a lot of it coming up is going to be cultivated food. And also people are becoming a lot more conscious of where their food is coming from. So I think it's going to be restaurants really looking into where they're sourcing their ingredients and their products from. So, restaurants, particularly in like cities like New York, are really starting to take note of what companies they're supporting, where they're getting their supplies from. And I think that really is going to be the future of restaurants, whether it's vegan or not. It's being more conscious of where they're ordering from and what they're actually putting out on the plates, because people have such a heightened awareness these days of not only factory farming, but what is being put into animals to make them grow quicker, to keep them healthy and all of those things. And they don't want to consume what they're putting into the animals to make meat. And so it really is becoming a very hot topic. Regenerative farming, I think, is another thing. I think restaurants are a lot more conscious of where they're getting their farmed products from, whether there's chemicals going into those products, et cetera, et cetera. And then the cultivated meat, I think, is going to be a really big thing as interest grows around that. And as climate change continues to, accelerate, I think that the demand is going to be there for people who actually still want to eat the meats, but they don't want to be a part or contribute
to
the realities of factory farming, of the carbon and fossil fuels that come out of factory farming. So I think that's really the wave of the future. And obviously plant-based and incorporating more and more of that into what they're putting out there.
True, very true. Having dined in various vegan scenes around the world, what unique qualities do you think set New York City apart?
The diversity. New York, you can get any dish you want here in New York City. And it's being able to actually get that as a vegan as well. So if I want Burmese food, I can go down the street and get a tea leaf salad and it's vegan. Or they can very easily make it vegan. I can get a slice of pizza. I can get Chinese food. I can get a vegan steak. I can get a beautiful baked brie that's made from cashew. And so the diversity here is like no other city I've ever been to in terms of like eating vegan.
It's true. I love New York. I love eating in New York.
Me too.
It's fascinating how veganism has evolved from an alternative lifestyle to mainstream movement. In your experience, what has been pivotal in this transformation?
I think it's a couple things. Obviously, like the vegan movement itself is rooted in ethics and morals and liberation for all living beings. But then there's also the other side of it where people are slowly like learning about veganism, but maybe not ready to go the entire lifestyle and like remove, animal products from everything in their life. But it's the growing awareness of how what you eat impacts your health and the growing awareness of how what you eat impacts the environment and climate change. And so during COVID, I think we saw a lot of people suddenly become a lot more conscious of what they're putting into their body, because the healthier you are, the less likely you are to have like obesity and heart disease and diabetes and things like that. So as people have become more aware of the part that food consumption plays in their health, I think that has definitely been a great catalyst. And then obviously the environment. The fires in California, across the world, the massive flooding we've been having, the outbreak of tornadoes. It's all ties back to animal agriculture and to fossil fuels. And so as people become more conscious of that, I think they're making more conscious decisions of what they eat as well, because they know that it's all interrelated.
Discover the transformative power of a plant-based diet. The Plant-Based Switch app is an all-in-one wellness app that encapsulates the essence of holistic health and mindful living. Download the Plant-Based Switch app today or visit theplantbasedswitch.com. Make the plant-based switch today for your mind, body, and soul. Your content is beautifully illustrates that veganism extends beyond food. Why do you think incorporating lifestyle and travel into your conversation is so important?
Because I think a lot of people, well, first off, I think vegan has like quite a negative connotation, and that over the years, like the stereotypes of vegan aren't good. And so I really want to show people that, anybody can be vegan. It's not this one militant type of person that people I tend to think is a vegan, or that if they're not 100% vegan, they're going to be judged. And so I really want to make my platform a safe space and to also educate. And so because veganism isn't rooted in food, it's rooted in like a movement of liberation. I really want people to understand that, the candle you have, it's made of soy instead of beeswax, or you're traveling and you think, well, I can't go to France and get a baguette with cheese because I'm vegan, so I'm going to miss out. But actually you can. There's amazing vegan cheese in Paris that you compare with the baguette. And so it's really just kind of showing people that. And also, obviously, I try to educate people with social issues as well, because veganism is tied into all of that. And so I really want people to have an idea of what it is without the judging, without the fear that perfection is what's necessary in order to start making those changes, and to encourage them, hopefully, to, slowly but surely kind of adapt what they're consuming beyond just what they're eating.
Exactly. And I love that. Like, I've always had a more gentle approach to helping people transition. I'm not going to judge them if they don't go vegan overnight, even though I went, but a lot of people can't do that. And it's okay. Everyone has their own, can go at their own pace. You just have to be, there encouraging and motivating, and, give them the facts whenever they, as they need them. And that's the best we can do. You don't want to be too pushy and scare people off, right?
Yeah. When I was working in elephant rescue in Thailand and, responsible tourism and education, the one thing I learned was you can't attack people for where they are. You meet them there. And then from there, you can very gently and kindly work with them. But
yeah, you know what it is? Because a lot of vegans today, they forget that at one point they weren't vegan, right? Like most of us weren't vegan, Like we grew up eating meat, a lot of us. I mean, some of us didn't, but most vegans weren't vegan before. So you have to remember that, and you have to try to understand the other person and see where they're coming from, and because it's a change for a lot of people, right? So you gotta be open to that.
Exactly.
Let's dive into some rapid fire questions. Just quick thoughts, no overthinking allowed, okay?
All right, okay. Overthinking.
What's the most impressive vegan alternative you've tried recently?
My Forest Foods bacon, the mycelium bacon.
Oh, okay. You like bacon?
Love.
I could never get into bacon. Even when I wasn't vegan, I never liked bacon. I don't know.
Loved it.
That's good. And I know they can, the bacon that they have now is, it's identical almost, right? It's so similar.
Very close.
Okay. All right. Well, what city do you believe stands out for plant-based dining?
New York.
I thought so. Yeah.
Paris, Berlin, Madrid. I have a couple.
Oh, you have a couple. Yeah. Paris. I haven't been in Paris in a lot of years. But yeah, they've picked up, huh? Because Paris used to be a lot of meat, right? Like foie gras.
It still is. But there's a lot of vegan restaurants there now, and there's a lot of options. Paris
true.
is one of my favorite cities for vegan food.
Okay. Interesting. What dish do you recommend to impress friends who are non-vegans?
Oh, that really depends. Are you going out to eat, or are you going to eat at home? If you're eating at home, when I go home and see my folks, I've been working on them to go vegan for 5 years now. And they're basically there, but we make a fried mushroom. And so we get oyster mushrooms, plant milk, flour, seasoning, batter it up, and it's like fried chicken. The texture is so spot on. So I think that's a really good one for people to like try. I'm obsessed with it. It's delicious. It's a must every time I go home now.
If you can master like a chicken or something, that's going to really pull people in. I wheel them in with my vegan meatballs. Like first, I don't even tell them sometimes it's vegan. And well, they know, they have to know, I guess. But it's so like, I don't know. If you can make it the taste as close as possible to what they enjoy and to what they're used to, it's a really easy segue, I believe.
Yep, agreed.
What upcoming plant-based restaurant openings are you most excited about?
You know, I don't know that there are any upcoming ones that I'm excited about. Like, well, I can tell you one that's recently opened that I want to go to, and that is Clementine, which just opened at 11 Madison Park. And for people not familiar with 11 Madison Park, it's Chef Daniel Hume's restaurant that famously went plant-based, Michelin-starred restaurant.
It's one of the top restaurants, right, in the world.
Yep. And so they opened like a lounge and have a menu there. And so once I have a little bit more money saved up, that is where I'm going.
Okay, awesome. Your work as a leading plant-based food creator and influencer is truly paving the way for a more inclusive culinary scene. What advice would you give to aspiring advocates?
Like I think the best advice is just to be patient and be understanding, because not everyone, as we've said, like not everyone gets there the same. And so like if you want to make change, it really is exhibiting that patience and, you know, the compassion and the empathy needed to kind of meet people where they are.
Yeah, excellent.
And meet restaurants where they are. And, you know, when I lived in Las Vegas, I worked with so many restaurants to add vegan things, and I didn't come at it from a blah. Like I was never rude to them. I would sit with them and be like, you know what? Hey, look, if you did this, this, and this to your menu, you could have a vegan option, and I could come in, or I can write about you if you add these vegan, like if you veganize some of these dishes. And so I think that's a really good way to start, you know, to advocate and to make change within like where you are and with restaurants.
Exactly. Like, I mean, just offering, starting with a few plant-based options is a great way. And then, you know, because I mean, there's meat eaters that don't eat meat every day either, and they want to have an option or meatless Mondays or whatever, you know, so definitely. Yeah. In your opinion, what's the most significant challenge the restaurant industry faces when it comes to mainstreaming plant-based options, though?
Proving to them, showing them that there's value in it. And that I used to always tell like restaurants in Las Vegas, if you build it, they will come. And it really is like, if you don't have vegan options, you don't know what you're missing. But once you put them on the menu, you can see that, you know, maybe you're getting new customers or things like that. So it's just convincing them, and showing that there's a demand for it. And then also, I think a big challenge that a lot of restaurants have is their marketing, and how they're reaching that audience, because so many restaurants open and they don't obviously have a budget for marketing or social media. And so they're missing out on a really key component, because we're such a visual society now, and we are so glued to our phones that you have to be able to get the word out, and you have to be able to tell people. And if they don't know how to use the tools of social media to let people know, I think that is that can be a detriment to them, and that's a huge challenge. So you know, you can make a plant-based menu and it can be great, but if no one knows about it, you know, what's going to happen?
Yeah. And how do you see your role of food photography evolving in the plant-based movement?
You know, it's just something fun I do. Like, obviously, to be on social media, you have to take photos and video. So that's really, that's my evolution. I was actually, funny enough, I was going back through my Instagram the other day, and like when I started it, and everything was just getting worse and worse as I was scrolling down and like looking at the feed. And my first photo, I was like, this is terrible. Like, this is an awful photo. What was I doing? Why did I put a filter on it? And I'm just like, oh gosh. So it's kind of like, I love being creative. My grandmother was a photographer and an artist. And so for me, it's just part of what I love to do. I'm always like learning as well. Like, I just enrolled in like an iPhone course to learn how to shoot different kinds of video with your phone. So that's the evolution I'm going for. It's nothing like it's nothing serious. It's just fun for me, because I feel like nowadays social media isn't fun. It's like a necessary thing you have to do. And so for me, I want to make it fun and I want to make like when I'm on my phone something that's enjoyable versus stressful. And so
yeah,
that's my plan.
that's great. That's beautiful. I love it. Love it. Thank you so much, Diana, for joining us today and for sharing your insights into the vibrant world of plant-based dining. Your passion for making vegan food accessible for everyone is inspiring.
Thank you.
For our listeners, if you're eager to explore delicious vegan options or want to learn more about Diana's work, be sure to check out Vegans, Baby. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your support helps us spread the word about the benefits of plant-based living. And remember, whether it's a small change or complete overhaul, every step towards a plant-based lifestyle makes a difference. Until next time, keep exploring delicious options and making informed choices for a healthier planet. Thanks for tuning in to the Plant-Based Switch. I'm Nafsi Kantipas, helping you throughout your plant-based journey. And remember, if you plant it, it will grow.